Hello and welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to follow my journey to review all 1000 Looney Tunes shorts and give this video a like as well. So this is a review for Injun Trouble, released in 1938. It's the 200th in the series and it's directed by Bob Clampett. You can currently find this short on the Porky Pig 101 DVD set, and I have a link below to that set. I've also upscaled the image for this review, and it looks pretty darn good, I must say, so there you go. Now, in case you haven't seen this short before, there's probably a good chance you haven't given the title and of course what happens in this short, but essentially Porky is heading out into Injun Joe's territory, leading a wagon trail. And he encounters also Sloppy Mo, who has a secret about Injun Joe, and, well, hilarity ensues.
Well, it's just that...
So what you're about to see is a re-edit of the original audio commentary I did before I had to take it down due to a request by Warner Brothers Legal, but thanks to my good friend Blue Genocide, he's re-edited the original commentary, and I'm going to add a few new thoughts as well at the end. So, as always, grab some popcorn and enjoy. Might look familiar to you as a colour cartoon anyway, because it was remade a few years later as Wagon Heels by Bob Clampett, and it's actually been a while since I've seen Wagon Heels, to be completely honest with you. Now this does contain Native American stereotype, like one stereotype of course, which is the main character Injun Joe, who's voiced by Billy Bletcher, and the other characters voiced by Mel Blanc in this cartoon. And it's also interesting that this cartoon also shares the same name with the final Looney Tunes cartoon of the Golden Age, which has a Cool Cat in it. Now, I've been told Porky investigating the mess is done by Izzy Alice, and also Izzy Alice does the Injun Joe, like with Porky yelling out Injun Joe. John Carey animates this wonderful character that you're going to see just... I just love it. I just love the design of it. It's amazing. It's just crazy. And you know, one of the things that I've noticed with this one is, unlike the previous few Porky cartoons where it was just gag after gag after gag and that's pretty much it, this one has a bit of a story, and this one also has this running gag with, of course, this character Sloppy Mo, or I think that's what he's called, where, you know, he goes, I know something, you know, I won't tell, and yeah, and then there's a big payoff at the end. We had something similar in Porky's 5 and 10 with the whole spraying water gag, but this one I think is a lot more stronger, and I gotta love the animation, yeah, of all that. I mean, if you can tell me who animated those parts, let me know, because yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't got that info on hand. And it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, as I said, this one, you know, this one is pretty funny, but just got the unfortunate stereotype. But that's right. Look, that sure it looks like a stereotype, but they establish him as a strong character anyway, so... But let me know your thoughts. I mean, you know, like I said, I just happen to think it's funny. And similar to the some of the designs we're going to see very soon in Porky and Wacky Land, which is a few cartoons away, and I absolutely cannot wait to cover that one. I just love the animation of the horse. In fact, pay attention to the animation of the horse in this one. I think that's probably the most underrated aspect of this particular short. Now, I've been told that starting with Injun Joe reacting to the tickles, that was animated by Norm McCabe. And, you know, there's a few music notes as well. You know, you've got Oh Susanna, and you've got the song The Old Apple Tree, done as, I believe, Injun Joe's theme. But now that gag didn't quite work where they were shaving away and making the city, like they make the statue, and that worked, but it didn't quite work. It wasn't quite it's established well. Like it looked like a building silhouette already, so, but that's alright. Can't win them all. but just love look at the animation here with Injun Joe. It's just so not only you get a great payoff in the end, but you also get a fantastically animated ending to go with it. So, and yeah, it's a pretty strong ending in my book. But yeah.
Okay, so those were my original thoughts at the time, but looking at it now, I like this map in the very beginning, how they just squeeze in that USA, and it's pretty amusing. It is kind of sad also because of, if you know Native American history and what happens, it's, yeah, a little bit sad. But that's, of course, not the intention here, but yeah, it's just something I've noticed. And I also find it interesting that it says a wagon train leaves New York for California. I mean, did California actually exist? I don't know. Whatever. Now, it's no secret that Clampett had a love for film and radio, and of course, around this time was The Lone Stranger. And not long after this, he would actually make a wonderful cartoon called The Lone Stranger and Porky, which I think he does much better in that one than this one, but hey, this one's got a lot of charm to it. I love how Clampett establishes that this Injun Joe fella is not someone to mess around with, even though it does look like it's a whole group of people, but whatever, it's still pretty cool. One awesome detail is how the beard of Sloppy Mo seems to have a life of its own. I mean, take a look at it. In fact, if you watch the whole cartoon, just watch how this beard actually acts like its own character. It's pretty cool. Look at that. Such fantastic work. See, it's like rubber hose, but it's still very solid, if that makes any sense. But wow, this character is easily the biggest highlight of this particular short, not only in this one, but also in the remake. See, Clampett, even though he already established what a bad person Injun Joe is, well, bad being, of course, a relative in terms of this short, but I like how he's just, incredibly tough, but he goes one step further here, and he's so tough that he makes Eddie Bear into a cum. And not only that, we get a nice little topper as well, that, okay, you think, oh, okay, Injun Joe's got a heart, right? So he makes this ice cream out of the top of the mountain, but anyway, it's pretty good. And you think, oh yeah, he's got a good heart. Nah, he decides to be a prick again. Amazing. I love the physics of this particular jump. So he dives down, then turns into a dive bomber. But then take a look very closely at when he's about to land, when the parachute deploys. There, see, boing, boing, boing. That's a pretty nice little touch there. It didn't have to be done, but it's a pretty nice touch. And this is, of course, this is ridiculous. Just changes the path just so you can ambush him. Yeah, sure, why not? And who doesn't love seeing livestock use weapons that clearly didn't exist back then in the Wild West? I don't know, just crazy. I mean, you even have David Crockett's hat getting in on the action with such a happy face, having a Tommy gun, giving us the okay. Sure, why not? Yep, he's so powerful that he turns a whole bunch of little bullets into one big bullet, which still doesn't destroy the wagon trail. Okay, sure. Now take a look at this crazy bit of animation all slowed down. Look at that. That is really something. It's incredible. And we also get even an Iris Out gag that Tex Avery was actually known more for at this time. Now, as I mentioned before, this was remade later on in 1945 as Wagon Heels. And, the two cartoons are great in different ways. But it's also an interesting case study to see how Clampett was earlier on in his directing career with his original crew, and then later on once he took over Tex Avery's crew. And, I can't say which of these two are my favourite, I guess it depends on my mood, but they each have their charm. So what would I rate this one? See, I'm thinking about a 7. I was entertained, although yes, I mentioned before, and I really don't want to over-mention it, but yes, it's problematic due to its stereotype, and of course, if you know what really happened during the Western expansion of the USA, well, it's quite dark as well. But look, Clampett here was basically just having fun based on what was being shown in the theaters at the time, and of course what was on the radio at the time. So I don't think there was any malice intended, but yeah, it's a little hard to watch today. So that'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.
Oh, Do 'em some more.